Hello and welcome back to the JL Blueprint podcast, where we equip and empower and activate leaders, women, and visionaries to walk boldly in purpose, power, and strategic assignment. And I'm your host, Dr. Gladys Dark. And today we are honored to welcome a globally recognized leadership strategist, professional development expert, and an innovator in the future of work. And she is the CEO and principal consultant of the Resurgent Group of Metro Atlanta, where she designs human centered AI enabled leadership systems that help organizations develop smart leaders, stronger teams, and future ready workforces. And with over 20 years of experience across corporate, government, nonprofit, and higher education sectors, she bridges innovation and impact, ensuring that technology enhances people and not replace them. And she is also a multi award winning author, speaker, and host of the Results Driven Organizations podcast, known for her powerful ability to translate complex leadership systems into practical, measurable outcomes. And we were connected. She had to remind me for herself through years ago through GNLI Alumni Association, and it was the Gwinnett Leadership Institute, an organization designed again and dedicated to developing and empowering community leaders. And Sister Tanya, Dr. Tanya, oh my God, y'all have to help me welcome her. She's a woman shaping the future of leadership and workforce transformation. So welcome, Dr. Tanya A. Lowe.
Oh, Gladys, thank you for having me on your podcast. I'm so excited to have this conversation with you and your listeners today.
Oh, thank you so much. You are amazing, Dr. Tanya. I'm telling you, I just got to just start from the beginning when I encountered you at Gwinnett Neighborhood Leadership Institute, where I was going through the leadership program, and you were one of their partners.
Mm.
And just to see a Black woman just doing her thing. I mean, I was looking you from the onset, you inspired me. You didn't know that,
Ah,
but, hearing you, talk to us, I remember that day and giving us leadership tips, encouraging us. You were at the tail end of your PhD. You inspired me
mm,
to even further my education, and we just never know how we're inspiring people. And
yes.
even after that, I followed you for years and continue to watch your growth on LinkedIn. So let me ask you, what does your current season of leadership and innovation look like right now? What's going on, girl?
Oh, wow. So, wow. Thank you. Just again, thank you so much. Thank you for what you're doing to help people in this space. I will say being in this seat of professional development and leadership development, um I'm going to go back a little bit. During the pandemic, I'm a researcher, I'm a nerd, and I was
Yeah.
reading about, what's happening to the workplace, right? And so
Yeah.
I started talking to companies about upskilling and reskilling because that's when all that conversation started happening. Upskill and reskill your workforce. It's not just,
Yeah.
remote work, but
Mhm.
it's, by 2025, things are going to look different.
Mm,
And
and
so
it is.
here we are at 2026, and the report says you should still be upskilling and reskilling. By
Mhm,
2030, things are going to look different. And so, as I think
mhm.
about how things moved really quickly from 2020 to 2025 to today, I had to
Yeah.
stop and ask myself, how are you upskilling and reskilling? And
Mm,
so, when I think about workshops and trainings and developing leaders, I have to think about the future and what does the
yes.
future want when it comes to their professional development. And so,
Yeah.
Gladys, I am now a tech founder.
Okay.
I am a tech founder, a new tech founder, because we're taking our courses and our trainings and turning them into labs where
Wow.
people can actually learn. And we started with our critical thinking course because critical thinking remains at the top of the list for the last six
Mhm.
years running. Critical
Mhm.
thinking, emotional intelligence, soft skills, top of the
Yes.
list for the skills that people need to learn. And so we took our 2-day critical thinking course
Okay.
and upskilled it into an AI powered platform where
Wow.
people can learn how to think better. And you don't have to be a
Oh.
Gen Zer, but you
Mhm.
can be a boomer or an Xer
Okay.
because I think we get caught up in I've been doing this a long time. I've been doing
Come
this a
on.
long time. And
Yeah.
really, what you're doing is you did something in 1988 and it worked, and you still repeating it, and it
Yeah.
don't mean it's relevant for today. And
Mm-mm.
so
It ain't working.
and so that's what it looks like. That's what the level of leadership looks like. We're still coaching and training, but we're also utilizing the
Mhm. Mhm.
technology, but keeping the human focus, keeping the human
Yeah.
focus there. So that's what we're doing now.
I love that. I love that. So, we connected through GNLI, like I said, and,
Yes.
I'm certain that I was looking at when you said that, I when I looked them up, it looks like they're not around anymore, but how did that leadership training impact your journey, and what stands out for you about community-based leadership development?
Oh my God. I'm so glad you asked that question. GNLI really pushed me into uncovering
Mm.
my leadership. It
Yes.
really it really pushed me. I'd always been a leader. I'd always done leadership stuff. I'd always had the leadership title. But
Mhm.
GNLI really pushed me once I graduated and I came back and I'm developing more community leaders. I
Yes.
was like, this is something that I need to continue to develop within myself. And
Yes.
so I believe what John Maxwell says, we all have the capacity to lead. We're all leaders
Mhm.
in some shape, sense, or form. People may
Yeah.
have a leadership title, right?
Yeah.
But you lead in your home, right? That's your
That's right.
first level of leadership. You lead in your
That's
home,
right.
you lead in your family, you may lead in the community. You may lead in your
Mhm.
church, your organization. And so GNLI, like I said, has helped me on the professional end of developing leaders, but it's also helped me on the working with nonprofit organizations. So I grew up in
Yeah.
nonprofit. We
Okay.
actually do some work with churches as well, which I consider
Okay.
community leadership. It's on one hand, it's you got to do the business of the church, as you
Right.
know. But
Right.
then it's how do you develop the leaders within the church? How do you develop those leaders who are volunteering and they still have a job? How
Yeah.
do you get them engaged and keep them engaged? And then how do you continue to develop more leaders? So GNLI had a tremendous impact on what I do today.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yes.
And I and
And
I
I
I miss them. I wish that they were still around.
yeah, I 'cause you're right, that was my first taste of leadership, and I
Mhm.
agree, Dr. Tanya. It helped me along in my journey. It helped me to begin to reflect how do I position myself to become a leader, or what does mentoring leaders look like?
Mhm.
And now it have helped me blossom and flourish in what I'm doing with women in business and the world. So
Yes.
I'm like you. Hey, applause to GNLI. I
Yes.
mean, they were amazing. And let me ask you this: when did you first realize that you were called to leadership development and organizational transformation? Because hey, you a bad girl, Dr. Tanya. I be, woo, honey, Dr. Tanya, they gonna get to know who you are on this podcast because you are amazing. You have inspired me from afar, near. You are a blessing.
And you know what? That's what leadership is about. Leadership is
Yeah.
about having an impact on people, and they come and they tell you years later. Like when
Yeah.
you show up and you are doing the work and you have a heart for people, and people say,
Mhm.
"You know what? You inspire me."
Yeah.
And it's like, "Oh my god, I had no idea." Right?
Yeah.
And so I think the light bulb for me went off around 2013, 2014. My business was taking a shift. And I realized because I have a behavioral health and public health background. So I've done a lot of work with
Mhm.
at the state level with state organizations. And so that was starting to look different. And what I realized was that when I went into those companies, not only did I help them stay in compliance with the
Yeah.
state and the Medicaid guidelines, I was
Mhm.
helping, I was developing their leaders because you had people who went from being a service provider to being a CEO. And that's a
Yes.
big gap, right?
Oh,
You have
yes.
people who went from, we're providing housing for you to now we're our own mental health center. And now we
Mhm.
have people who work with us and not knowing how to provide leadership for those people. And so um I think it's something that was innate, but
Yes.
that was the turn for me, or it clicked for me that, hey, really start adding leadership to the work that you do. And so I went and
Yes.
I worked with John Maxwell. I learned more. I really started pulling in my GNLI stuff, which I still
Yeah.
have. Dr.
Yeah.
T, I still have it. I still have it. And really started looking at developing leaders in these
Mhm.
organizations, developing especially women who look like you and I. I
Yes.
love working with people who they'll call me in and they say, "Well, this is their I'm the last chance coach," right? And I sit
Mhm.
down with the person and I find out, girl, you dropping the balls. And they think
Come
they're
on.
not dropping the balls. But then
Yeah.
I find out you have a special needs child, or
Yeah.
you are taking care of a sick parent, or you're
Right.
going through a divorce and you think,
Yeah.
you got the mask on, you look good from head to toe,
Come
lace
on now.
front
Ooh,
tight, and
we talked
just
about the
all
mess.
everything is falling apart. And I'm like, "Girl,
Yeah.
you about to lose your job, right?"
Come on. That's right.
And
That's right.
so talking about how to, ask for help, which is not
Mhm.
something that we're taught,
That's right.
how to delegate, right?
Mhm.
How to lead in your feminine energy. You're not a man.
Oh,
You don't have to show
yeah.
up like a man.
Talk
You can
about
still
it,
get
Dr.
people, you can
Tanya.
still serve from your heart and get people to do
Yes.
what they need to do while holding them accountable.
Yes.
You don't
That's
have
so good.
to break someone down,
Mhm.
um, in order to get them to do what they need to do. And I think I learned that also
Mm.
because I've had those type of leaders.
Yeah.
I have worked with some of the some of the best of the worst.
Yeah.
Okay, they were the best in class in worst leadership,
Right.
and I think that is
Same.
why I do the work that I do,
Yeah.
because of the, and I'll dare say, the trauma that I endured as
Mhm.
an early 20 something coming into
Mhm.
the workplace. And so people do what they see, and you've got to be really
Yeah.
strong not to do the things. You've got to unlearn some things in
Yes.
leadership, because many of us, I'm sure many people listening to this discussion can relate to having poor leaders,
Yeah.
and they might not have known it at the time. It made them become not so good of a leader, right?
Mhm.
Until somebody
Yeah.
pull their tail and say, "Hey, we don't that's not our culture here. We don't do that here."
Mm-mm. That's so good. I love that. I love what you said. We do what we see. That's
People get
true,
what they see.
whether consciously or unconsciously.
Mhm.
So, I mean, what is your leadership philosophy? And was there a defining moment that shaped that philosophy?
I will say my leadership philosophy is, it's to treat people like you wanna be treated. It's the golden rule,
It ain't
right?
even deep, right,
I
Dr.
mean,
Tanya? You better
it's
say
really
that.
not. I was like, "Okay, like, how real?" I mean, can I be real with you?
Come on and be real,
I
girl.
think that the work is the work, right?
That's
The
it.
the work is the work. You got the degrees, you got the experience. I
Yes.
expect you to do the work, right? So when it
Right.
comes to leadership, and I came from an era where I tell people I was always a quarterback of one. Like I ain't had no
Mhm.
team. Here's the book, make the program happen, make us look good. Um,
Yes.
but when you start leading people, it's not about you. It's about
Yes.
them.
That's right.
And you have to be able to put the ego aside to say,
Mhm.
I want to make these people the best that they can be.
Ooh, I
And so,
love
in order
that.
to do that, you've got to treat people the way
Yeah.
you would want to be treated while
Yes.
holding them accountable,
Mhm.
while meeting the deadlines,
Mhm.
while doing all of the work, because the work is the work. How are we
Right.
engaging people? I think as the years have gone by, we're not doing a good job in that.
Mm-mm.
I would give us collective us a D in that
I agree.
because
I agree,
we're
Dr.
not doing
Tanya.
well with how we treat
Mm-mm.
people.
Not at all. Not at all. I've seen it firsthand. I've experienced it, like you say,
Yeah.
and even as God has lifted me in leadership, I'm always reminded of that. Like you say, treat people how I want to be treated. I
Mhm.
mean, I love how you just simplify. It ain't that deep. Just
No.
treat people right. Do
Yeah.
unto others as you want them to do unto you. Oh, that's so
Yeah.
good.
And I mean, people say, well, are you authoritarian? Are you this? Are you that? I think
Right, right,
you, I don't believe in boxes, Dr. Gladys. I
right,
don't believe in boxes.
right,
But I
right.
believe that there will be times when you need to draw
Mm-hmm.
from one of those categories, right?
Oh,
There will be
absolutely.
times, and it may not be across the board with your whole team. So I always
Mhm.
tell people you want to treat everyone fairly,
That's
but you
right.
need to know who you have on your team.
That's right. That's
You need to
right.
know who you have on your team
Oh, yes. You
because
gotta
some
know the
people are going to need
players.
more of a push and some people are going to need a pushback. And
Right.
you need like get back, I got it. Yeah.
I love I love that. I love that. Now, let's talk about, the smart girl in the room, the nerd, because you sharp, girl. You sharp. You hold degrees from Clark Atlanta, from Capella. How did your academic journey shape your approach to leadership and people development?
Girl, I didn't realize I was a smart girl till I was in my master's program, okay? I mean, I was an average student. I'm just gonna be frank. I wasn't like, no, I was an average student.
Right. Oh my
I was
goodness.
my mother was a school teacher. I was
Okay.
smart. I was spelling bees and all of that.
See,
But
I knew it. Look, I was a spelling bee champ too.
okay, 4-H club and all of that. But
Right.
let me tell you, when I got to my master's program, and girl, you can't make C's in the master's
Right,
program.
right,
I'm like,
right.
"Oh, this is different. This is."
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm like,
Like,
"Well, where
what's
was this
going
all
on?
my life?" I was responsible for, and not that I wasn't before, but I think the higher you go up in your education, at
Yes.
least my experience, um, you're responsible for
Mhm.
your learning. And, even,
Mhm.
getting my PhD, I was not in a classroom. I
Yeah.
was really responsible for my learning. And I felt like I retained information better. If I didn't understand it, I dug deeper,
Yeah.
so that I could understand it for myself and not go to the professor and say, well, I don't understand. Can you explain it to me? So it made me take more responsibility in my own learning. Now, I don't know if that's something that just comes with as you
Yeah.
mature, but
Mhm.
I do believe, and then I worked. I didn't go
Yeah.
straight through. I was in school and I worked in all levels, all across the board.
Right. Me too.
But but I think that that also shapes
Yeah.
who you are. It shapes your leadership. It shapes what you see while you're
Yeah.
learning.
Yes.
Um, and so I think all of that has had an impact. So now when I go into places, I don't, whitewash it, everybody gets the same thing. I'm thinking about, okay, yeah,
Mhm.
they're adult learners, even though it's a workshop or a conference.
Mhm.
How do they learn? What are the
That's right.
elements that I need to include in this training as I'm designing it? So everybody
Mhm.
gets a little like, oh, okay, well, I like the hands-on. Oh, I like the takeaways. I like
Mhm.
so I have to keep all of that in mind because I think it's important when you're trying to move people toward change and growth
Yeah. Yeah.
personally or professionally.
Mm. Ooh, that's good. Yes. Now, how does your counseling and psychology inform your leadership style?
Because you know we do, right? Yes, I'm through with the good questions. Yes. So, having a,
Mhm.
a background in counseling and psychological service and have worked in that field, I mean, yeah, you never stop working
Yeah.
in that industry, right? I just don't see
Yes.
clients, but I use it in my coaching
Yes.
practice, right? And so, like I said, if people may show up with their coach that they don't
Mhm.
they don't know it's a counselor, and they're saying things, and I'm like, "Well, are you an EAP? Right?
Mhm.
Have you
Mhm.
gone to EAP?" I may be the person to explain to them that EAP is a safe place for you to go, but you do have
Yeah.
your insurance benefits and you can use that too.
Right.
I may be the person to connect them to
Okay.
services, right?
Mhm.
Or I'm the person that can see that something is going on that your boss can't see
That's
because
right.
I have that. Like I'm like, your eyes not right. What's going on?
Right, right.
What's
Like,
going
this
on
is a
with you?
safe place. Let's really talk about it.
Yeah. So it always shows up. Whether I'm doing coaching or even
Mhm.
if I am going into an organization and they want some type of change, right? So change starts
Yeah.
here. It
Yes.
starts here, it's cognitive. And so
Mhm.
creating trainings that will will enable behavior change, but it's usually not a one and done. Hey, can you come do
Mhm.
this workshop? And you're not going to see no change because there's not a repetitive piece in that training or that conference or that workshop that's going to reinforce the change. It's a checkbox. They've
Oh,
checked it.
yes.
And
Mhm.
so if you want to see behavior change, that's not a one and done, but I'll
Mhm.
take your check.
Okay.
I'm going to document it and say, well, I told you. And then they usually come back around.
I love it. I love it.
Today's price isn't yesterday's price.
Okay. Dr. Tanya, you are amazing. You are amazing. I'm telling you, and I'm right there with you. If that's what you want, hey,
Yeah,
let's do it.
yeah, yeah. And people come to me, oh, we need you at my company. I was talking with someone yesterday and they were like, what do you do? And they were
Mhm.
like, oh my God, we need you at our company. And I'm like, well, call me. But
Right.
there are people who they need it, but they
Mhm.
don't want it.
Ooh, you better say that.
And so
Yeah.
when you get to the place where you hurt enough to change, you've lost enough to
Ooh,
change,
I love it.
then you will get some support.
Ooh. Mm.
Change is
That's
the only
good.
thing you like. I need some help.
That's your only option. Yeah.
That's the only
Yeah.
option.
Just go.
And I'm here to serve.
Ah,
I'm here to serve.
I'm at your service.
Yes.
That
Yes.
is so beautiful. Now you create, Dr. Tanya, human-centered AI solutions. Now, what does that mean in practical terms? Because, girl, I don't know.
So I haven't taken the
For our
human
audience. Yeah.
I
Okay.
haven't taken the human aspect out of it. So, like I
Okay.
was sharing earlier, our critical thinking course. Critical
Mhm.
thinking is a human aspect. Doesn't matter how much you use AI or technology or coding or whatever it is you do, you still need to
Yes.
be able to analyze and think through if that data is correct. You need to be able
Mhm.
to create prompts that are gonna give
Good.
you
Yeah.
what you need and not treat
Mhm.
AI like it's Google. Um,
Mhm.
you also need to be able to did you know that there are 20 different modalities that you can utilize to make a decision?
No.
I didn't either. So, of course, everyone knows SWOT. Everyone knows, "Oh, I did a SWOT
Right.
analysis," but there are 19 others. And so when we
Really?
built the course
Oh, that's so
3
interesting.
years ago, I
Mhm.
thought, "Oh my god, if someone said, 'Oh, I this is how I made my decision. I used the
Mhm.
6 thinking hats theory, and I'm confident in my decision.'" Then
Okay.
that's the person I wanna talk to. They didn't just
Right.
pull it out of their ear. They didn't just say, "Well, I've been doing this for 30 years." They
Yes.
actually used a decision making
Mhm.
formula, right? And so
Yes.
there are 20 of them. Um,
Wow.
that we like I said, our course used to be a 2-day course, and it's still a 2-day course. Someone may say, "Hey, we want you to come in and do the course the 2 days." They would still
Mhm.
get the lab. Or if someone says, "Hey, we wanna just get the
Okay.
license to the lab." But, so you can go in, you can learn about critical thinking, you can learn about the biases, what
Wow.
keeps you from making a good decision. So a lot of times we may
Mm.
think, well, this is the best decision, but when you apply that formula to it,
It
no, that's
really
just what
isn't.
you wanna do.
Right. Oh, that is good.
And
Like you
so
said, I
that's the
never
human
knew.
aspect. And I think
Okay.
it's really important with our Gen Zers and Gen Alphas coming into the workplace this
Mhm.
year. Because they don't have to think. And so now
Yeah.
this is something that will help them to think about thinking. It will help our boomers and our Xers get familiar with thinking again, right? And
Yes. Yes.
so when as we build human-centered AI powered solutions, those solutions will be things that will help them with their executive functioning, with their
Uh-huh.
productivity. These are all people skills because the computer can't do that for you. The computer
Yes.
can't um, analyze if the data is correct or not. The
Mhm.
computer can't keep you on task unless you know how to set up the right things to keep it on task.
Yeah.
Um, it's not gonna talk to you about emotional intelligence and using
Yeah.
soft skills and your
Mhm.
tone, right? And so
Mhm.
those are the human aspects. As much as I love technology, um, there's still going to be room
Yeah.
for people who use technology, but they're gonna have to use it in a different way.
That's beautiful. Yeah, because I love that, you're including that human aspect intentionally and on purpose because technology should enhance but not replace the
Absolutely.
human aspect. It shouldn't do that. Now let's talk about workplace and multi-generational leadership. Let's talk about that.
Yes. Yes.
Because you work with multi-generational teams. You keep talking about, the Gen Xers and all this and the baby boomers. And what are the biggest challenges you're seeing today in those multi-generational teams?
Everybody think they know more than the other one. I'm just gonna keep it real. There is communication.
I
Boomers, y'all
see that,
old, y'all don't know nothing. Zers,
right?
y'all new, y'all don't know nothing. Xers are just
Isn't
like,
that
leave us
something?
alone. Leave us alone. And so I
Oh
think
my goodness.
there were so many articles that had come out 24, 25 around Gen Z.
Okay.
And I was like, we're firing Gen Z. I'm like, well, you can't fire them all. You can't
Yeah,
fire them all. They can't help that that they were born in the era that they were born in.
right.
Um, the Gen Z generation, they have
Mhm.
experienced things that no other generation has experienced. Their time in school was cut short, right? They
Yeah.
are They had a long period of time of not having social interaction. Many of them
Mhm.
have anxiety. So they can be in
Yes.
a room with 12, 15 people and they still feel isolated. And so that's
Yeah.
why when they're at work, they're on their phone because they
Mhm.
connect more with the people in the box than in the room. And
Wow.
so it's
Yes.
really important. They don't have adult mentors to lead them in the workplace. And so
Mhm.
firing them is really not going to help. Is bring them into the conversation. Bring them into
Yes.
the conversation, mentor
Mhm.
up, mentor them. And so, the last book that I wrote, The Power of One Question, I wrote
Okay.
that with the multiple generations in mind. There are a series of questions that if you have a multi-generational team, you can just put that question, pick a question for weeks, 52 questions, and have
Mhm.
everybody think about it until the next meeting and come back and get your answers. And I guarantee you,
Wow.
you will have amazing answers if
Mm.
you see value in each person sitting around the table
Ooh, that's good. My
because each
goodness.
person brings value.
Yeah, it's
Everybody
true.
brings value, but if we're not listening or if we're shutting them down,
Mhm.
they're not going to stay or they're going to be terminated.
Mhm. That's true, and I see that firsthand every day because I work in staffing and have had a career in staffing for years.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah. So how can leaders, and you've said this a little bit, better engage and retain talent across these generations? Because you just talked about the Gen Z, just in general, because what I see and hear, even in the workplace, Dr. Tanya, uh, people are saying, especially since COVID, people have chosen a whole new way to work since they knew they could work a different way. And it's hard to get and retain top talent because people will flat out tell you if it's not remote, if it's not if it's not this Gladys or that, no, it's a no for me. They don't
Yeah.
people don't so much in my work, I don't see people caring so much about the money. People now want to do what they want to do and be free in doing it.
Mhm.
So how can leaders better engage and retain talent?
I think that, they need to talk to their people and find out, "What do you want?" And not just,
Yeah.
"Give me what you think I want."
Yeah, because that ain't
Um,
working no more. Like you said, that ain't working.
no. I think that, I did an article, uh, a week or so ago. Everybody's working remote, and then they're like, our culture, we don't have people aren't feeling engaged." But you have them on these 8 6-hour Zoom calls and nobody has their camera on. So there's no connection, there's no
Yeah.
trust. Somebody's probably in the
Wow.
background making eggs. And so
Absolutely.
you gotta, if you're gonna connect the people, connect the people. If culture
Mhm.
in engagement is truly important and you want to build that and not just
Mm.
check the box,
Right.
then turn the cameras on.
That's
That's the
right.
first thing. Turn the
That's right.
cameras on.
We
And
make it
then
mandatory. You gonna have to turn that camera on.
engage everybody,
That's
rotate
right.
the meeting, get people involved in what's happening, and then you need to do some on-sites. It used to do, "Oh, we're doing
Mhm.
off-site." Well, everybody works off-site now, so maybe you
That's
need to
right.
bring everybody in quarterly, right? And
Ooh,
do
that's
some
good.
things to so people know each other. They get to meet their
Yeah.
supervisor. They get to, and don't fill it up with a bunch of workshops, because if
Yeah.
everybody is remote, then I've not even met my team.
That's
And so
right.
we need some time to sit and talk and meet
Mhm.
and network. So then when we go back to the little square on the computer, then I
Mhm.
know Gladys.
Right.
I can call her. I don't mind calling her. Right?
Right.
She said she would be my mentor.
Mhm.
Bob's been in the company. So now we are truly putting it into action and not just talking about it.
Mhm.
Leaders have to walk the talk.
Oh, yes. Yes, walk the talk.
Yeah.
walk the talk. I wanna respect your time, so we're gonna, I got a few more things for you, and then we're gonna wrap it up.
Okay, okay.
But this is so good to talk, Dr. Tanya. I'll be calling on you again. We got to have some more conversations. But
Absolutely.
you emphasize emotional intelligence and critical thinking. And why are those essential in today's workplace?
Well, so, like I said, our strategic brilliance lab is designed around critical thinking because
Yes.
you, regardless of what the tools they create, if you can't analyze the data that it gives you, if you
Mhm.
can't create a prompt, and
Mhm.
if you're taking what it gives you and you're not like, that's not quite what I want, or that
Right.
didn't quite answer the question, or if you're a coder, if you're in tech, because
Yeah.
now there companies,
Mhm.
I'll tell you, from what, mid 22, 23, people were like, no, we're not using AI. And now all
Mhm.
those people are
Yeah.
using AI.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you're not using AI, we don't want to work with you. And
Yeah.
so if you have used, if you've been a coder, right? And
Mhm.
you're like, well, I'll just run it through AI, you better use your coding knowledge to assess whether this is good or not, or you're about to break the whole thing. And so
Mhm.
you've gotta be able to think.
Yes.
AI and all of the tools, it's not a easy way out. It's
Mhm.
a tool, like you have a hammer, screwdriver, pliers. Which
Right.
aspect of that do you need? But you still
Mhm.
need your brain.
Yeah.
You always
Yeah.
need your brain.
Oh, yes. Yes, we're gonna need our
Yes. And
Uh,
so if you run something through AI and you're like, okay, now let me run it through one of these critical thinking models, or you come up
Yeah.
with your answer, but you're not really confident, run it through that one of those models, and you can be like,
Mm.
okay, okay, I stand on this. Make sure
Mhm.
you've removed your bias, right? So critical thinking isn't just analyzing, but is there any bias there?
Yeah. Yeah. Dr. Tanya, I feel like I'm talking to somebody 20 years down the road. Girl, you already in 2036. That's amazing. Yeah.
We all can be. I interviewed a guy some years ago, and
Mhm.
he considers himself a futurist. We should all be futurists. We should all be
Yeah, we
thinking
should.
about what, not just what's happening next year,
Yeah.
but building communities and building organizations for what's to come, building
That's right.
churches for what's to
Right.
come. When I work with churches, I'm like, don't tell me, okay, I love Sister Mabel, but
Okay.
this little girl right here who's,
Right.
in the youth group, we need
Yeah.
to be building programs for her because Sister
That's
Mabel gonna be
right.
gone.
Oh my God. I
Yeah,
love that forward thinking. Huh?
yeah,
Oh, yes.
yeah. Your church
Ooh,
is gonna
girl.
be empty. Your
Right.
organizations are gonna be empty if you don't
Yeah.
include the future.
Yeah. And I see it in the workplace, in ministry and everything. Like you said, people that don't know how to pivot, they're falling by the wayside. Because
Mhm.
like you said, that mindset that this is how we do it, that's how we always do it. It's not going to get it any longer.
No, we are
And the
in a
world is changing.
innovators in the innovation era now. We're out of the
Yeah,
knowledge era. You can get information just like that.
that's
What
right.
so what? I know it too. What are you gonna
Yeah,
do with the information that you have?
that's right.
That is the
That's
key.
right.
Yes.
Mm. Well, as a speaker, as an author, podcast host, what message are you consistently called to share with leaders? And what do you believe that future leadership look like as we get ready to wrap it up? Because, oh, this is good, 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 good.
Oh, that's a great question. I think the
Mm.
message that I am consistently sharing right now,
Mhm.
because I think your messages are in seasons, is
Oh,
that it
yes.
is you need to be upskilling and reskilling, and
I
probably
love
more
that.
upskilling than
I love
reskilling,
it. Yes,
because the workplace is changing. People will
absolutely.
lose their jobs
Mhm.
because the bottom line is still the bottom line at the end of the day. And so
Mhm.
my message, not just to leaders, but to, if you're whatever level you're in, find a way to level up. Find a way
Mhm.
to level your skill set up because
Yes.
change is happening so fast and the AI, don't be so focused on the tool as
Mhm.
opposed to this is the work that I do. How can
Yeah.
AI help me in the work that I do?
Mhm. Yeah. And that is
That's how
so
you make
critical
yourself separate.
because yeah, that's so critical, it's so good because I found myself in that space. Even this podcast, everything I do now has been a result of me reassessing my skills, my knowledge, my education, and how can I upskill this? I never heard it put like that, but you write a reskill it.
Mhm,
How can I repackage this? Because the workplace has changed and the world is constantly changing.
mhm.
So, Dr. Tanya, in closing, oh my God, you have blessed me. You have blessed me, and I know our audience are gonna be so blessed and
I hope so.
this conversation has been amazing. So what keeps you grounded as you operate at such a high level of strategy and innovation? And who or what has shaped your leadership the most? I want us to end right there along those
Um,
lines.
Jesus.
Ha! I knew it, girl.
Jesus.
I knew it.
Jesus.
Jesus girls on the line. Amen.
Yes. Yes, because entrepreneurship isn't easy.
That's right.
Being different isn't easy. Being a different
Yes.
thinker is not
Yes.
easy. Um, Working in the workplace ain't easy, right?
Woo, you better
And
say
so
that one.
I believe that there's a power higher than myself,
That's right.
which keeps me the main thing, keeps
That's
my
it.
head level. Um, but also when things are tough and they're hard and I'm not
Yeah.
sure where to go, other people can give you their opinion.
Come
But
on now.
I know
Mhm.
that Jesus will direct me in the way that he wants me to go.
Glory, glory, glory.
And
Oh,
I
yes.
owe that
Amen.
to my parents and my grandparents
Oh,
who
that's
who
beautiful.
instilled that in me.
Yes, that's so good. And I'm right there with you. That's the foundation that's built. Everything is built on that in my life. And I want to ask you, how do you or what do you want your legacy in leadership development and AI innovation to look like?
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Whoo! The books that I write,
Yes.
the labs that I create,
Mm.
um, the nonprofit that I have for developing youth leaders, that
Yes.
that's going to be my legacy. How I treat people, how I
Yeah.
have helped other people grow, the leaders
Yeah.
that I developed, that will be, my legacy.
Yeah. I can attest to that because whether you knew it or not, I'm part of that legacy. You have helped me. I'm telling you so much. And watching you and just looking at the tools that you have used to develop leaders and the way you operate. I looked at some of your YouTubes even before this conference. I said, "That's a bad girl right there, girl." Look, Gladys, you got to level up and upskill. But I love that because I love people. Iron sharpens iron. I
Yes,
love being around women and people in general that's
yeah,
going to make me better or inspire me to
yeah.
even think like that. Like, okay, there's another way, a different way you can do this better. So you have done that for me and didn't even know it,
Oh,
as a
wow.
lot of women in my life have. And
Yeah,
I believe in going back and saying thanks and giving people their flowers because Jesus asked the people that he blessed, he said, where are the other nine? Because only one came back to say thank you. So
yes.
thank you. I want to say right now, thank you, Dr. Tanya. Whether
Mhm.
you knew it or not, you have blessed my life, my
Oh,
ministry, and my leadership style. You have inspired all of that from day one,
oh,
from day
wow.
one. And I
Thank you.
appreciate you. So and in closing, what do you I mean, what let us know how can people connect with you, with your work? Because they need to know about Dr. Tanya A. Lowe on it, your platforms, your books, and share anything else in this moment. This is
Okay.
you.
So before I share that, I want to say you'd asked me the question about kind of developing your leadership. It is
Yes.
so important for leaders to develop their community. Community is so important.
Yes.
Your internal circle and your external circle. So
Yes.
important. So your
That's
external
so
circle, they
true.
may not know nothing about what you do,
Yeah.
but they can keep you grounded and they can get you
Yes.
thinking outside of the box. So
Yeah, that's
they
what
don't
I'm
have to
talking about.
know you.
That's what you have been for me without even.
So you develop a a
Ooh,
community of internal and
yeah.
external. People
Yeah.
can find me on, YouTube, my YouTube channel, Dr. Taunya
Yes.
Lowe.
Yes.
You can also connect with me on LinkedIn.
Yes.
My books are available on Amazon. You can have me come into your office and do some
Yes.
training and workshops, and then get
Yes.
books that way too. Um, and then you can follow I'm currently a digital nomad, and so if you wanna follow my journey, you can find me on TikTok as well.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, I'm going. Honey, I'll be on over there to see what you're doing, Doctor T.
Yes, so yes.
Oh, I know that's good. Ooh, that's amazing.
Yes,
And so, if there's anything that we have not shared here that you want to share at this time, by all means. And then, if you don't mind, if you say a little quick prayer for our audience that's
yes,
going to hear this, and just whatever God lays on your heart.
absolutely, absolutely. Father God, we just thank
Thank you,
you. We
Lord.
love you. We adore you and we praise you. We thank you for
Yes.
this opportunity to share with the people. I pray that I was able to share something that will touch people's heart and their spirit. Lord,
Yes.
I thank you for Dr. Gladys, that she is doing your work and that she is supporting and leading your people. So I say a special prayer over her today. Lord, I say a special prayer
Lord.
for any and everyone listening to this podcast, whenever they listen to this podcast, that you meet them at their greatest need and that
Yes.
you fill their cup. And so that we all can continue to go and do your will in your name.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Dr. Tanya. So, people, and to all of our listeners and audience that will hear this podcast, remember that leadership is not about position, it is about impact. And in this new era, you are called to lead with wisdom, with emotional intelligence and clarity of purpose. So stay grounded, stay innovative, and stay committed to growth. The future is not waiting, it is built through leaders like you. This is the JL Blueprint, and I'm your host, Dr. Gladys Dark. And to next time, take care and bye now.